Author. I want to disappear into my bedroom, write a book, publish it, disappear again and watch people enjoy it.
I'm living this life. Not famous or anything, just a mid-list author. But it was my childhood dream, and I pursued it relentlessly, and didn't quit despite many, many failures. Finally got published and discovered it wasn't all I'd hoped it would be. But at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love for a living. How many people can say that? I could have made much more money if I'd stayed in my salaried job. I also would have spent my whole life wondering, what if? If you want it, go after it.
Driving the Zamboni between periods of every NY Rangers home game.
I manage a local rink. Whenever I hire new drivers, I tell them in the interview, "You're a janitor who sometimes drives Zamboni." I'm sure it's not like this in the NHL. But, if you want to drive Zamboni, you have to be ready to scrub toilets, mop floors, and clean up chew spit. Edit. Getting lots of great comments from people who worked in the industry. It's really is a great job. If you can look past all the nasty stuff. There's nothing better than watching the little kids' eyes light up when the Zam comes out. Even better when you make their day by acknowledging them by honking the horn or a waving.
Paleontologist or astrophysicist. Have not decided yet.
As someone with a degree in archaeology, I can confidently say, one of those jobs has the potential of supporting a stable lifestyle, the other is paleontologist.
Audio engineer. I start classes this summer, right after I turn 50.
Sound decision. We could always use more techies. Good luck with the studies. Welcome to the Noise Boys crew. Also, invest in a reference microphone and closed-back headphones. My preferred pair is the Sony MDR 7506s, although the foam, leather muffs need replacing every few years.
I want to be a blacksmith. Live a simple life. Wake up with the sunrise, make a cup of coffee, head out to work shack on my property and crack some hot iron, steel, make some cool shit.
I have a friend who does exactly that. When we get together for beers every Friday, he usually brings something that he made in his blacksmith shop. He is a retired Army colonel and a retired educator. Apparently 2 pensions is what it takes.
I would like to sleep 8 hours a day and get paid to be studied while I do this. Live out your dreams, my friend. https://eachnight.com/sleep-studies/get-paid-to-nap/closing Edit. The applications are sadly closed. Pensive face.
To travel the world and be a wildlife, landscape photographer.
That's actually fairly doable if you could grow a following online. You could then sell prints and have fine art shows at galleries.
Voice actor for cartoons. Edit. Everyone that wants to do this, let's scroll through to find writers and animators. Grassroots movement.
I always wanted to send Andrea Romano a tape and let her know that it was my dream to be cast by her in one of the shows she worked on. Even if I could just be the guy who gets knocked out in a Batman cartoon, and record 30 versions of, oof. She's the one who cast Mark Hamill for the Joker. And she cast Animaniacs. I mean, come on. She was an awesome casting director and voice director. I miss her. She retired 2 years ago.
My childhood dream job was to be a pilot, but I get very sick on airplanes, so yeah. No bueno.
I wanted to be a pilot, but went through college first at the advice of my parents. Got a job and after a few years finally decided, fuck it, I'm going to do it. At 27 years old, with a bachelor's degree in hand, I called an Air Force recruiter and asked what I would need to do to sign up to become a pilot. I was told that I was too old to join the program.
To be a full-time bro for my homies.
Does this job come with a bro 01k?
Race car driver, for as long as I can remember. But there's an old joke. How do you make a small fortune in racing? Start with a large one. I just turned 47, and I'd do it now if someone else was paying.
Could always get into sim racing. Way cheaper than racing real cars. And it's been spiking in popularity, so there are actually several legit series.
I want to work for the company I do now, bringing the airplanes that were designed by hand on paper and pen into the 3D CAD world.
Wow man, that's kinda cool. Unrealistic dream job would be an actor on a show like IASIP or Letterkenny. I love that shit and totally dream of being part of one. Realistic dream job would be rehabbing old houses.
Not like a flipper using builder grade shit to make a quick buck, but really taking the time to bring old house charm back using my own hands. Throw in there a side gig of teaching older kids how to do some work and I'd be super happy.
I love this one, heart.
My dream job is not needing one. Professional Powerball jackpot winner. And #X200B. I fantasize about this way too much, and quitting my job is one of the first things on my to-do list if I ever get it.
Consultant psychologist that sits in on high-end job interviews to assess applicants. Like 500 Kelvins plus jobs.
And listen to people's fucked up story lol.
Indie game dev. I'm working towards it right now. Wish me luck and good luck to anyone else who is pushing towards their dream jobs too. Edit. Shit, that's a lot of positivity. Thanks everyone, and back at you. Cheers for the awards too.
Good luck, man. Would love to see it one day.
Stay-at-home husband. Edit. Holy smokes. Tons of interest on this. Lol. Take care of your home body, men queens. Lol. Also a dad, so it's probably more accurate to say stay-at-home dad.
My wife started a cleaning business to help with some extra money last year. In a carpenter. And actually made decent money, $55K. Which isn't amazing, but still know I'm fortunate compared to many people I know at my age. But we struggled with a kid and her at home. In a month she was making double what I was, and I quit to stay at home and watch our son. Lol. Loved it. She was turning down so much work I was going to help run it with her and start hiring workers and take more jobs or outsource them to contract workers. I did the math, and in the first year we easily could have pulled $150K a year and kept growing. She got pregnant few months in and gets awful morning sickness and can't work. Back to work I went. It was nice while it lasted. I thought about doing it, but many clients were old rich ladies who didn't want a man in their home cleaning. Or old men who just wanted a female around. It's a rough business and creepy.
Hit big on a trade and not need to work at all. Establish a bakery as a project of love, so I can tell obnoxious customers to fuck off. Having a retail storefront doing something you love without having to suffer through any of the retail disrespect sounds like heaven. Brings back fond memories of the 2 weeks in high school where I had given my notice as a department store employee. You want this thing I shouldn't give you but you're nice to me? Here ya go. You want this thing that's totally within my power to give but you're an asshat? Nope, can't be done.
I want to have a shop selling retro video games. Old Nintendo, Sega, Atari, PlayStation, etc. Also some newer stuff, but mostly the old classic games.
Username checks out lol. There's actually a retro video game store by me that does super well. Every time I'm in there they are busy. They also sell other used items too to help broaden their customer base though, like used consoles, controllers, computers, speakers, and stuff like that. I'm so glad it exists because I can buy any old console and game there when I'm feeling nostalgic. I'd say that if you were in a good location, you could do pretty well with a shop like that.
I want to make video games. I've got many ideas written down. But I'm not artistic enough.
You can contact people who are into it.
Wildlife photographer. Unfortunately, it doesn't make money. Photography, especially wildlife, landscapes, and astro, when I get it right, is so therapeutic. I feel like even if I could do it as a job, it's hard to break into and get noticed.
You all are such go-getters. My only dream since I was a child was to be retired and never work a day.
It is to be a professor.
Professor in AskMen.
Writer. Same. I don't need to be super rich and famous, but just popular enough that it can keep me comfortable so I can be home with my family more. I'm self-publishing my first book in about a month. Fingers crossed I can get there.
Microbiology researcher. To cure every disease. I just faint at seeing blood.
You can go the entire journey without getting near blood. Microbiology will usually be more on the infectious disease side, where molecular biology, biochemistry will be on the investigating mechanisms, creating technologies side, and then you can get into chemistry, chemical biology on the modern pharma side. Or you can do the coding, bioinformatics side to handle data for any or all of the above, especially DNA sequencing data. I would learn some coding no matter what field you get into, so you can handle data. It makes you majorly stand out. I have a PhD in molecular biology and run a research group in industry now, and I wanted to never, ever work on a research animal. You can work on all kinds of things like fruit flies, yeast, bacteria, archaea, etc. as your system. You can also focus entirely on biotechnology, synthetic biology, etc., where you're either only working with enzymes, chemicals, or just single-cell organisms, cultures that you're using to produce things.
Wildlife ranger. But then I realized that you want have good toilet. Fuck that. That's not gonna work out for me.
I'm a ranger and I just shit in the morning at home.
Porn star. I know it's disgusting and not a good job. But the amount of bad porns out there just motivates me to do my own vids. It's hard to find good videos and ones where you can say this wasn't made for the dumb teenage audience with fake boobs, fake face, and fake body overall. Quality vids with more emotions.
You sound like you'd prefer to be the director.